Do you have any siblings?
2 siblings, an older brother who's 4 years apart. We're 4 years apart, and a younger brother, and we're 9 years apart. And they're both musicians.
All steel drum musicians?
My younger brother is a drummer and a steel drum musician as well. But he went to Berkeley for drums. Yeah.
You went to Berkeley as well?
Yes.
So you went for the steel drum.
Yes.
Now, was that like a new thing when you did it? Were there other people there that were steel drum players as well?
So me and my brother were the first 2, and I was to pursue and study the instrument there. And when we got there, there was another guy by the name of James Giddens, who's from St. Thomas. So we were the first 3 steel drummers to enroll at Berkeley as steel drums being our principal instrument.
Is there a bigger steel drum
Community at Berkeley? Yeah, since I left, there's been more than 3 enrolling a year, and since they have an actual curriculum for the instrument, and so I haven't been back, and I want to go back because they have built up the school a lot, and a lot has happened since I was there. So I definitely want to get back to Boston and check out the school and see what's new and what the school is offering now. I think even now they have a master's degree program. So yeah.
Can you take me through the history of the steel drum?
It was born out of the Second World War in Trinidad, and the instrument, the 55-gallon oil drums were left by the Americans on the soil, and pretty much was taken and to what you see today. Experiment. It was an experiment with guys all over the island, banging on this metal until they figured out that you can get notes and get one note and then get another note. Then another guy, across the way is doing the same thing, and he's getting 3 notes. And I heard this guy's getting 4. I hear if you get more metal, or if you get a bigger drum, or if you get a biscuit pan, or this kind of thing. So it was kind of like, I always say it's like it was. It's not one person who created this. It was people, everybody pitching in and trying to develop, and not knowing they're actually creating an instrument. Developing, just keep hammering away at it, and that's how it was born. And I just think that's very cool until what we have today. Now you have 30-something notes. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome.
Literally sit there every rehearsal just going like, why am I here right
on
now?
On the recording, me and
why?
you,
It's really funny because we
there's one time I played and you don't play and you just go. I got
You know on that first one?
I forgot that it's the first Tuesday in the Madison.
We're doing the breaks together?
Where I didn't play, you just played a C.
Oh yeah. So when you're doing the arpeggio, you want me to just go like?
Yeah, I'll play that with you. So I'll just go.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Cool. Yeah.
You can phrase that with us.
Yeah, I was doing that solo, so I didn't want to overplay it, but you want to do Spinor with that?
Yeah.
Or we could start with the dun 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 and then go to the arpeggio.
No. Just do it that one time. So
just that one time.
Just that one time. Yeah. So it's like make it, and then go back to the boo. But let's try it.
If you want to start with that, I can switch over to electric. Make sure that we
That's fine.
I'm lost.
So you're gonna do the arpeggios, and then you're gonna do a bump, a bump.
Right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna re-record my part, and I'm gonna do what you played, in the studio. And just keep it.
So I win.
You win.
Ben with the win.
All right.
You're
Check
winning,
out
Ben.
Ben's bluegrass mixtape coming out.
Oh yeah. Takes you there.
That was actually dope. Wait a minute.
Yeah, man.
That's all we did.
Okay, gotcha.
That's all we did.
Oh, you want to go back? Wait, you want to go back to the arpeggio?
Yeah, just
Alright.
play that one time and then go back to the arpeggio.
Alright.
And then I'll step out, cause like then you go back to what you was just doing.
Yeah, so-
after we step out.
So another chunk like what we did until that point of our.
And
arpeggios
then I'm
and
out,
the
and
rest.
then you guys just yeah, exactly. So let's try to get.
Brad. I got it.
Yeah,
We got it.
Just follow the basement.
Besides the weather, what were your plans for coming to California? Like when you decided on Sacramento, musically, what were you thinking as far as like your career and sustaining yourself like with your nonprofit?
Well, my initial plan was because at the time I was working with a youth orchestra, so after that, I just had a plan to just come out here and relax and see what the scene is like first, and then see where it takes me. And it took me to, because I wasn't STRQ I didn't have that mind. I didn't have Shawn Thwaites Rebel Quartet in my mind before I came out here. Coming out here is what gave me like, oh, I always felt I wanted to do an album. So my first thing was I need to start recording my own music. I had a lot of ideas of how I wanted it to look and how I wanted to look, how I wanted to sound. I wanted to incorporate this with that. My new life, like the album is really new life because of all of those things. So I didn't really have a plan to say, oh, I'm gonna come out here and be this, or I'm gonna have Pan United. And no, I didn't have that. I own Pan United Youth Movement, and that's gonna go with me wherever. I can play, a lot of music on here. That's gonna go with me whatever. So I just came with my force. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we're here with Samuel Rose with Bespoke. If you see me in threads like this is the guy who makes all of my I guess STRQ event wardrobe stuff, and I'm a good friend of mine, also my workout gym partner, keep me buff and kick my butt. Yeah, so we just gonna see how me and him hang, and the things he's making, and his spot here on R Street. So follow us around, check it out, and you can also get more of his stuff on
BuySamuelRose.com. So www.BuySamuelRose.com.
He also made the bag to the Thwaites Brothers stick, which bears the leather on the back.
Lambskin.
Lambskin, right, with the name. So yeah, if you want that kind of stuff done as well, he can make anything for you. So you're making hats now, like the one you're wearing.
Yeah. I finally found like a source for a good bill. Before I was making them out of like cardboard and shit, so it didn't work. But yeah, I got the new bills, so they're out cool. They're a lot better. Already cut and everything.
Oh,
This
and
is
you
like
just
I can sew through it, so it's perfect. Yeah, much better now. And then they're bendable.
what is your signature?
Oh, it hella changes. Like for a little while, it was that first shirt I made for you. I think it was one of the first shirts. I put like that little bit of leather detail on there.
Oh, you did one on. Oh no, that's not this one with the little. I got
It
you,
was.
yeah.
I think it was right here.
Right here
It was
you
the white
did,
leather.
yeah.
But then that changed For a little while, I was doing like hidden pockets in the side seam. That changed. For a minute, I was putting like the little tab right here. That was something, and I moved from that because I don't have pockets on everything, you know. So it's, you know, I'm just figuring it out.
I've never seen like the first jacket that caught my eye. What's his name was wearing it?
Yeah, that's similar to that jacket, and it's probably the vent thing on the back.
Right, with the long zip across.
Yeah.
I've never seen that, so that caught my eye. I've never really seen too much of like how you make this whole situation with the hood.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That caught with the drawstring and stuff. Like you see it, but I've seen it before, but I haven't seen it like how you do.
Yeah, and I always feel like it's a lot easier for other people to say that's your signature for me to, you know.
That's what I was.
Yeah, like
I feel like I know it.
Exactly. All through school, people were like, "Oh, you made that," and I was like, "How did you know?"
Yeah.
Like I thought like at first I took it as like, "Oh man, like I could tell a student made that," but then I started realizing like, no, it's like I can just tell by the way you like make the shape of a pocket or whatever. Like you could tell it's your style. So.
And you have the slits always.
I usually
Almost
do
all the
have the
time.
slits, but back in the day I was doing it more like the classic, like, you know, the more of a classic dress shirt. But then it evolves
I got
pretty
you.
quickly too, you know.
So I one time I stalked your page, your Instagram page, and you mentioned your mom. I think she had made something. It was your mom your inspiration for getting into sewing?
I mean, my mom, she made like my sister's wedding dress last year.
Mm-hmm.
She made like almost all of her formals, so like all of her proms. She made like 2 or 3 dresses for my sister's proms. I saw her sewing everything. Like if I ever needed like my pants hemmed or whatever, she would definitely do that. But she always used a home machine. But my dad, his trade was sewing, so he did a bolt upholstery and canvas. So I always had like an industrial sewing machine in my garage. So I was never playing with the machine itself. I was always just playing with like little, like, probably messing the machine up, like with the tension and shit. I was just like just turning dials and stuff. But so he was always the one who was like more so like he would bring me to work with him, and I would like rip all the seams out or like take off the vinyl from the cushions, like just messing with fabric in general. Just seeing him, like, just I guess having a lot of respect and just being amazed by how he was able to make like a cover for a whole yacht, you know. So
wow.
he was a huge inspiration. But not only was he an inspiration, I don't think that I would be as comfortable with industrial sewing machines if he wasn't there to like show me how to use them and stuff, you know. Cause school, they taught me how to use them, but if it wasn't for my father, like
The foundation.
yeah, like I wouldn't have been as confident like buying them, like spending $300, $400, $500 on a machine if I didn't think that I had someone like him to help me when I needed it. But now it's come to the point where I'm teaching him, you know.
Yeah.
Like I had him.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
He's still active.
He's still looking for projects. I got him a sewing machine the other day. I came up on an old Singer, and I bring it to my parents' house. Took it upstairs, and I don't think he's used it yet. But you know, he is gonna probably make some pillows or something. He's waiting for an assignment. My mom and I, we have to come up with something. But
now that's something we didn't know we had in common. My dad was also my foundation, and I took what he taught me and went to college with it. And I wouldn't have been confident if I didn't have that foundation of learning how to play the steel drums and the rudiments of the instrument. So it sounds pretty similar.
yeah.
And that helped me be the first at pursuing at the school I went to, Berkeley College of Music. Me and my older brother were the first two to do that. Pursue, so it was like pursue a whole education that wasn't done before.
Yeah, going
So
a little bit further with what they
what
taught
he-
you.
right? And so now I go back and I do the same thing you do, is teach the teacher. That's sweet.
Yeah, see, that would be a beautiful thing. Probably seeing you and your dad jam together like that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
You're a pioneer in your own right. You know, you're bringing it really kind of to Berkeley with the other two, your brother and then the other gentleman. And then now, like with your sound, everybody I talk to that hears you for the first time, they're like, I've never heard anything like this. This is so different. So like you're bringing a new wave, even though this instrument's been around a long time. You're like bringing it to the masses in a way that they're not used to. Instead of, I think most times people think the steel drum, they think, oh, we're going to Jamaica on vacation. But you're probably going to change that perception of the instrument.
Yes, that's my plan. And not just me alone. There are other musicians out there that are doing, I would say, going in that same vein, and I applaud them as well. So I just I think there is. You said the right word. There is a new wave of steel drummers going that route to not just say it's a summer instrument, and we're going to Jamaica, which we love to go to Jamaica too, and other Caribbean islands, but we want it not to be associated with just one season or one kind of music, or just it's an instrument, just like a piano. So you play piano in church, you play it, you play it on a stage, you play it at any time in the summer, the winter. So that's what I want this voice to be as well, and I think I know the other guys that are in the new wave. I don't know exactly. For me, what I want to do is I want it to be a voice just like a vocalist. So it could be on stage with a rock band. It could be on stage with a hip hop band. It could be on stage in a jazz group, and it also could be in a reggae band. And it could be more out front and not just make people feel like they're in the islands, just because that's where it was born, So my thing is that for you to hear it as just like you hear any other instrument.